Something strange is happening on Vietnamese YouTube. More and more Vietnamese people are making videos in English about low income, unemployment, cheap meals, small rooms, grocery prices, and ordinary daily life. You may have seen titles like How I Survive on a Low Income in Vietnam, What I Eat When I Have No Job, or A Simple Life in a Small City in Vietnam. And maybe you've wondered, why are there suddenly so many videos like this? Are these people really struggling? Are they exaggerating their lives? Or are they simply doing it for views and money? Honestly, I've wondered about that too, because I'm now one of them. I'm 35 years old. I live in a small city in northern Vietnam. I used to work in technology. For many years, I had a regular job, a stable income, and a clear idea of what my future would look like. But right now, I'm unemployed, and I'm trying to figure out what comes next. So when I watch these low-income videos, I don't only see a YouTube trend. I also see people who may be worried about the same things I'm worried about: money, work, the future, and whether it is already too late to start again. So why are so many Vietnamese people making this kind of content? The honest answer is that money is part of it. Of course it is. YouTube can create an extra source of income, especially if a channel reaches viewers in countries like the United States, Canada, the UK, or Australia. But I don't think money explains everything. And I also don't think every person making these videos is pretending to be poor. From what I can see, there are 5 main reasons behind this trend. The first reason starts with something many people in Vietnam are feeling right now. Stability doesn't feel very stable anymore. Reason 1. A stable job no longer feels guaranteed. I'm 35 years old. I live in a small city in northern Vietnam. I used to work in technology. For many years, I had a regular job, a stable income, and a clear idea of what my future would look like. But right now, I'm unemployed, and I'm trying to figure out what comes next. So when I watch these low-income videos, I don't only see a YouTube trend. I also see people who may be worried about the same things I'm worried about: money, work, the future, and whether it is already too late to start again. So why are so many Vietnamese people making this kind of content? The honest answer is that money is part of it. Of course it is. YouTube can create an extra source of income, especially if a channel reaches viewers in countries like the United States, Canada, the UK, or Australia. But I don't think money explains everything. And I also don't think every person making these videos is pretending to be poor. From what I can see, there are 5 main reasons behind this trend. The first reason starts with something many people in Vietnam are feeling right now. Stability doesn't feel very stable anymore. For a long time, many of us were taught a simple idea: study hard, find a good job, work hard, and slowly your life will become better. For some people, that still works, but for many others, life doesn't feel that simple anymore. Some people are struggling to find a job. Some have jobs, but their salaries are not increasing. Meanwhile, food, rent, education, transportation, and family expenses continue to rise. Other people still have stable jobs, but they are afraid of being replaced, laid off, or left behind. I understand that feeling. I worked in technology for many years. It was a good career. The income was stable, and I thought my skills would always be useful. But the industry changed. AI became more powerful. Companies started trying to do more work with fewer people. Tasks that once took hours could suddenly be completed much faster. And even if AI doesn't completely replace your job, it changes what companies expect from you. You have to learn faster, work faster, and prove that you still have value. After 10 years in the industry, I left. And now, at 35, I no longer have the same stable income I used to have. That is a strange feeling. You spend years building one life. Then suddenly, you have to ask yourself whether you need to build a completely different one. That is why YouTube doesn't always feel like a get-rich-quick dream. For people like me, it can feel more like a backup plan, a second chance, or simply something to try while we are not sure what else to do. Of course, most channels do not make much money. Many channels make nothing. You can spend hours filming, editing, writing subtitles, creating thumbnails, and still receive almost no views. I know that very well. But YouTube has one important difference. A video doesn't always disappear after one day. Someone may discover it next week, next month, or even next year. So even a small channel can feel like something you are slowly building. Maybe it will go nowhere, but at least it feels like movement. And when you are unemployed, movement is important. Doing nothing can make you feel worse than failing. The second reason is AI. A few years ago, making English videos was much harder for an ordinary Vietnamese person. You needed to write in English. You needed to speak clearly. You needed to understand international audiences. And if your pronunciation was not good, you might feel too embarrassed to begin. Today, AI can help with almost all of that. It can correct grammar. It can rewrite awkward sentences. It can help create subtitles. It can suggest titles. It can help you practice pronunciation. And it can even create an English voiceover. My English is not perfect. Sometimes I know what I want to say, but I don't know the most natural way to say it. AI helps me turn my thoughts into clearer English. Without that help, I probably wouldn't be making this video. And that is the strange thing about AI. It is one of the reasons many people feel anxious about their jobs. But it is also giving ordinary people new opportunities. It can close one door and open another one at the same time. Has AI changed your job too? I'm honestly curious about what is happening in other countries. The third reason is simple. The phrase low income creates an immediate story. Imagine two videos. The first one is called My Normal Day in Vietnam. The second one is called How I Survive Without a Job in Vietnam. Which one would you click? The second title creates questions. How does this person pay for food? Where does he live? How much money does he have? Is he worried? What will happen next? People don't only click because someone is poor. They click because there is uncertainty. And uncertainty creates curiosity. This is why prices are shown so often in these videos. A bowl of noodles is not just a bowl of noodles anymore. But this also creates a problem. When creators realize that struggle gets more attention, some may begin to exaggerate. They may use the words poor or low income even when their situation is not quite that simple. They may show only their cheapest meals. They may film a small room but never show the comfortable parts of their lives. They may talk about being unemployed but not mention savings, family support, property, or another source of income. That doesn't automatically mean they are lying, but it means YouTube is always a selected version of reality. Every video has been planned, every scene has been chosen, every title has been written to make people click. Even an honest vlog is still a story, and no 8-minute video can show someone's entire life. So yes, I think some creators may exaggerate, but I also believe many of them are showing a real fear, even if the title is more dramatic than the reality. The fourth reason is that ordinary Vietnam is genuinely interesting to people overseas. When Vietnam appears internationally, people often see the same images: Hanoi traffic, Ho Chi Minh City, Ha Long Bay, beautiful beaches, rice fields, street food, luxury hotels. And those things are real, but they are not the whole country. Most people here are not traveling every day. We wake up, take our children to school, go to work, buy groceries, cook dinner, worry about bills, watch videos on our phones, and try to save some money for the future. That life may feel boring to us, but to someone living in another country, the small details can be interesting. How much does a normal Vietnamese family spend on food? What does an ordinary neighborhood look like? What do people eat when money is tight? What is life like outside Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City? How does an unemployed 35-year-old spend his day? These are simple questions, but simple questions can make people feel closer to a country they have never visited. The fifth reason is more personal. Sometimes it is easier to be honest with strangers than with people you know. On Vietnamese social media, your relatives may see your posts. Your old colleagues may see them. Your neighbors, friends, customers, or classmates may see them. And that makes you think too much. What if they laugh at my English? What if they think I am desperate? What if they think I failed? What if they see that I no longer have the job I used to have? Because of that, people often show only the good parts of life: a new purchase, a holiday, a nice restaurant, a successful moment. But on an English YouTube channel, most viewers don't know me in real life. They don't know who I used to be. They don't know what salary I used to earn. They only know the person they see in this video. And strangely, that makes it easier to speak honestly. I can say, I'm unemployed, I'm uncertain, and I don't know whether this new direction will work. Saying that to strangers sometimes feels easier than saying it to people around me. So why am I making videos? The honest answer is that I don't completely know yet. Maybe I'm trying to build a new source of income. Maybe I'm trying to prove to myself that I can still learn something new. Maybe I'm simply afraid of doing nothing. I spent around 10 years working in technology. That career became a big part of how I saw myself. When people asked what I did, I had a clear answer. Now I don't. I'm 35 years old. I'm unemployed, and I'm trying to find a new direction. YouTube may work. It may fail. I may spend months making videos that almost nobody watches. That is possible. But right now, trying feels better than waiting. So I'm filming the life I already have. The food I eat, the prices I see, the streets around my city, the ordinary routines of my family, and some of the thoughts I normally keep to myself. Maybe this life looks too normal to be interesting, but maybe someone far away will see something familiar in it. So why are so many Vietnamese people making low-income videos in English? Partly because they want to make money. Partly because stable jobs no longer feel completely safe. Partly because AI has made international content much easier. Partly because struggle creates a strong story. And partly because foreign viewers are curious about the ordinary lives of people in Vietnam. Some creators are completely honest, some probably exaggerate, and most are likely somewhere in between. They are real people, showing real parts of their lives, but shaping those parts into stories that people might click. I don't think these videos represent everyone in Vietnam, And I don't think one person can explain an entire country, but they can show one small life inside it. And sometimes that is more meaningful than another perfect travel video. My name is Anne. I'm 35 years old, currently unemployed, and trying to start a new chapter of my life in a small city in northern Vietnam. Do you think low-income vlogs are honest? Or do you think some creators exaggerate their struggles for views? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I rarely buy treats, but today I spent 20,000 dong, about 80 cents. For lunch, I pick up some jute mallow. It is a leafy vegetable cooked in a light soup, especially during Vietnam's hot summer months. One bundle can last me 2 meals. I hand the elderly vendor 10,000 dong. She smiles and gives 5,000 back. So this bundle cost me only 5,000 dong, about 20 cents. One thing you may notice, many vegetable sellers here are elderly. Even at their age, they come every morning, working hard to survive. Although I have little money, I usually do not ask